yet another video for you guys. Yes, I was inspired today because I have been studying like crazy every single day for my upcoming interview, and I've been meaning to do this video because I remember when I started with my quest to become a flight attendant, I would keep on looking online to find videos which probably could help me with an interview, and I had found probably a handful. And there's a million, don't get me wrong, but they don't really specifically tell you how to interview. I mean, they'll tell you, but it's pretty vague. And so I wanted to make a detailed video as much as I can on how I interviewed and how I was able to get a lot more CJOs than TBNT, which is contingent job offer, and then TBNT stands for thank you but no thank you. So I've been able to get a lot more of those, and people have asked me over and over again, like, how do you do it? How do you interview? What is it that you say? Why are you like getting these CJOs and I'm not? You know, your experience is probably the same as mine, if not, you know, if not more. And so why is it that you always get them? So I will give you my tips and my tricks, and so stay tuned, and I hope this will help you. All right, we're back. I gotta edit this. I probably won't have time to edit like usual, but just getting started and just getting the hang of things. So speaking in a phone, it's already so awkward. As you know, if you've been interviewing with videos, live interviews, it's always a little weird to kind of look at yourself and speak. So this is good practice, I guess, for the video interview. But with this said, let's get going. All right, so I have an upcoming video. I mean, not video, because I've already done a video for them. But I did get ready for that specific live video. And there's no one talking to you on the other end. It's just basically a voice, and you get to read the question, or somebody actually articulating the video. I think for Delta, there's actually a person that speaks to you, and you could actually read the question. So once you get ready for those, it gives you a good idea of what the company is about. And then you kind of hold on to that information for a little while, but then the airlines don't call you. So you kind of forget, because then you're interviewing for other airlines, and a month goes by, maybe 2, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe a year, and then they call you and they say, we would love to have you for a face-to-face, which means you're in front of a recruiter in a group setting or one-on-one, and we would love to interview you. And you're like, oh my gosh, I have forgotten all of the information that I researched for that airline. So in order to remedy that issue and have to start looking for all the information all over again, I introduce you to my low-key silver book. All right, so these guys are my lifesavers, and I'll tell you why. I went to the dollar store and I bought a bunch. I know they are super cute. They're about the size of my hand, so they can be carried anywhere, anytime. I actually put them in my carry-on when I fly to the interview. So it's really easy. There's a million pages, as you can see, and I don't know how many pages, but I know that it says 160 pages. It says in the back here. 5 inches by 6 inches, so 12.7 by 15.24 centimeters, and 160 pages. They are awesome, you guys. They're not big binders. I don't like writing in big books. You just write too much, and then the information gets lost. This forces you to summarize everything within one page, and I love it. So I bought everything. It cost me about, I think I got like 10 total. So I'm just showing you a few here. They are awesome. They're reflecting. You know, like I said, do things to make you happy, and this made me happy. So I bought one, I remember, just to get started. I was hooked on them and went back and bought more. Anyhow, so get yourself a tiny, tiny book so you can carry it easily with you. Nobody can see it. You can bring it in your hotel room, sneak in, or you can bring it to the interview, go to the bathroom, kind of sneak in a few, you know, if you want to review something real quick. And which leads me to my next tip. So small book. Next tip, go online. Go online and go to their website. So for example, if you have JetBlue, JetBlue has core values, JetBlue has, you does a lot of things for their community, etc., etc. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your book, and you're gonna make the first page about everything there is to know about JetBlue or any other airline that you're interviewing for. Once you get that done, and you're gonna come to the next page, and you are gonna write. So this is all the system that I got down. So you're not gonna be writing like every single line and write a whole story about your airline. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put key points. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. I've done it here. Yeah, something like that. So I've circled key points for the airline, and that's all you want to do. Okay, so it's not about writing a diary, because things you can't really retain when you're reading stuff. I don't know how you work, but I know that for me, I have to have key points so that when I do speak during the interview, I get flashbacks of all of these things that I have looked over and over and over until I memorize and it's in me. Okay. Tip number 2 or number 3? Yeah, number 3. So now you're gonna go on Glassdoor. Glassdoor.com, I believe it is. It is a great tool to help you. I know Indeed.com as well. And what you're gonna do is you are gonna go through every single question. I know, it sounds but you gotta take the time to do it because that will save your butt. Now they may or may not ask you the same question, but they will ask you a question very similar. My French is coming out. Similar. And so you need to tailor your answer to that specific question. So usually the answer that you'll have in your mind ready will be the same answer that you will use for a question that is similar. Okay, I hope you understand. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a sheet of paper and you're gonna write every single question from Glassdoor.com. So you're gonna write them down, turn that page around because usually there's a lot. Okay, and it kind of goes back to like 2000 and gosh, I think I've seen questions dated as old as 2005, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, these questions were old. Write them down, it does not matter. Okay, so once you have them all down, what you're gonna do is you're gonna cross out the ones that are very similar. So what I do is like, okay, so this one sounds just like this one, I'll just keep one. So you keep one and then you kind of do that over and over again until you have all of the questions that are ready. And that's when your little low-key book comes into play. So you're gonna take your questions and you're gonna write them all here. One here. And then what you're gonna do is you are gonna answer that question on the other page. Yes, that's what I do. And so I will show you how it looks. So, here's a question. What is it? I don't know. And the answer is on the other side. Okay, again, the question and the answer is on the other side. So that, and I don't put the answer right under the question because if I do that, then I tend to look at the answer and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I don't. I'm just kind of messing with my head. So I like to do this. So what I do is all my questions are here and all my answers are in the back. And yeah, and sometimes I leave it blank on purpose. So I don't put the answer so it makes me think and I'm like, oh, what was it again? Now I'll have the answer somewhere in the back. It's like a mind game. But it's a good thing because it helps you think quick on your toe. So I do this constantly. I'll just flip the book. Boom. What is your blah, blah, blah? And then I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Oh, so if I'm not sure, I'll look back at the answer in the back and it'll have my answer. You guys, you don't understand how this is unbelievable because this helps you think quick. This helps you, it helps you with your answer if you're not sure, but it doesn't give you the answer right away, so it makes you think. This has helped me so much to a point where when they ask me a question, I'm like, I know that because I practice. There's a lot of work put into this. This is not something that, oh, I went into the interview not knowing anything and it just came to me. No, I've worked on it and I've done this. So I do this prior to the video interview usually, not as much in depth, because I know that, you can't really get into it as much as the interview. So I do it a little bit lightly. I don't really get into the book of things prior to my live interview, but when it is the face-to-face, when you're actually in front of a recruiter, I do this for every single interview. And ever since I started, I have been getting CJOs, which is so exciting and so rewarding, but I know that I've put in a lot of the work. So don't think that, oh, you get a CJO because you're lucky. I work my butt off, okay? So not only am I training right now studying for training, I am working on all of my answers. So instead of going out and enjoying my friends, I am studying. And yes, I do take a break, don't get me wrong. I will take a few hours just to kind of go to dinner with a friend and kind of change my mind on things. But when I'm back home, I work and I work and I work and I ask myself questions in my sleep. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, what was that again? And then I go look at the answer. Oh, that's right. So I sleep, breathe, question for my interview. With this said, I hope this helps a lot of people. I know it's helped me so much, and I wish there was something out there about that, and I didn't see any. But all I know is hopefully that'll guide you in the right direction. Now, I did want to say this as far as knowing the right answers to the questions. Okay, that's another thing. You need to write down all of your experiences. So you need to take a good hour, and then you're gonna write down all of the stuff that you've done in the past that you think that could relate to these questions. For example, if you were a lifeguard, now write lifeguard, I've saved some people at work, the positive and the negative that's happened at your job, okay? If you were a waitress, I was a waitress at Denny's, or IHOP, or, Longhorn, doesn't matter. And you know what, I had a bad experience with my boss. I had a good experience overall. I had a bad experience with the client, and then you're gonna write everything you can, and then you could use one of these little books, and every page would talk about your old jobs. So again, take another book, an empty one, and then you can put jobs on the top here, or a sticker that says jobs, and then you go through it. And then you'll have like your 5, 6, or 8, or 10 jobs that you've had in the past 10 years, because they do look at the last 10 years. But even if you had more a long time ago and you want to use those examples during your interview, please do so. You don't need to have, I thought you needed to use example of everything you've done recently. It's not true. You can use any example from your past. And they need to be real, guys. I mean, let's keep it real. I know a lot of people make up stuff, but unless it is really something you've lived, you have a lot of conviction when you speak about it, you have a lot of truth when you speak about it, and it is more real. And I think when it's more real, they believe you more than if you were making this stuff up. They could see through your BS, I'm telling you. I've had people make things up thinking they can get away with it, and they can't, because then the interviewer will be asking you questions such as, okay, well, why don't you tell me more? So why did that really happen? And And if you don't know what you're saying and you're making this up, they will catch you in a lie, and then you're gonna be flushed red. You won't know what to say unless you're really good bullshitter. A good BSer. Then I'm sure you can get away with that stuff. But unless it is something you truly lived, I think you will be saying your answer with so much conviction that they will believe you, they will feel you, and I think that'll give you a ding pass on those questions. So, very important, write down all of your experiences and your little low-key book. And then write the title, My Job at Longhorn, and then you write all of your experiences, good and bad, and with the manager, because they will ask you questions about that. And then you go to the next one, and then you'll write lifeguard, things that happen. And so when they ask you a question, you can always go back, okay? You can have these little sticky notes that kind of stick out so you know which job you want to kind of peek at. And then it's all about being organized, you guys. I know that my first ever interview, which is what I want to tell you about. My first interview with Southwest Airline, it went so badly. Okay, so it was my first interview ever. And maybe I should do another video about that. But yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll do another video about my first experience as my first interview, which I totally flopped. But I'm glad I did, because it taught me how to be successful in the other ones. And if I hadn't flopped, I would have probably thought that that's how we have to interview. But I did take videos during that, and pictures, and through my whole journey for Southwest, which was, like I said, my first ever, flight attendant interview, which I need to make a video about that, literally, because it's going to be long. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully, I was helpful in some ways, and maybe you can share this video with people that are interviewing, just to put them a little bit more at ease. Remember, you gotta put in the work. If you wanna succeed, put in the work. Don't think it comes easy. People that do get the CJO, they have worked hard to get there. They didn't just by fluke, just pass everything. So put in the work, you will get the results, I promise you. All right? I love you guys. Subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. I'm up to, I think it was 9 last time I checked. I'm just hoping for 100 subscribers. That's not too much, is it? So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Follow my journey. I'll keep on giving you more tips and tricks. And I do have another tip about an amazing book that's helped me interview, and I want to make another video on that. So if you subscribe and click that little bell button, I will let you know when I upload another one, and you get to know all my tips on how to be an amazing CJO winner. All right, guys, see you later, and thank you for following me. Don't forget the subscribe button. Bye.